Poso Tagara, leg sweep. This is perhaps, in the first set, the most challenging technique for new students. This is one where your base, your stance, your timing, your ma'ai or distancing has to be straight on point. If it's not, if it varies even a 1/16 of an inch, you'll find yourself all over the place, okay? I am more than glad to tell you I struggled with this technique in the very beginning. It took me a bit to figure out some nuances for my body. But once I got it, it became one of my favorite techniques to do, okay? So, leg sweep. In Nihon Goshin, again, we do classical techniques in kata form, or in this case, a static position. Squared off, one arm length away. Yes, I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm going to do it anyways, right? So, got to keep reminding me. Same side grip. That means the uke is now gripping me with their left hand on my right hand. First things first, I start the process of getting low and establishing the base right away. This is where beginners make a mistake. They keep everything up here. They want to step back, and then they think they can get into a low, good base position at the very end. It's too late. That mentality has to start right away. So if I'm here, I get low as I grab that wrist. Elbows in tight, very important, like the elbow chop. If I wing my elbows out even a little bit as I begin my step back, the uke starts to progressively get farther and farther away. Then what I'm having to do is try to muscle them again. Remember, distance equals muscle. I don't want that. So if I try to muscle them back, then you find yourself reaching out with the leg, and it just falls apart. It's ugly. Okay? So to alleviate that, to make sure we're not in that position, as I come down, drop the weight, hips, elbows in. They're welded into my ribs. The step, we call this a Charlie Chaplin step. Again, we're dating ourselves a bit by saying that. With the kids, I tell them, step like a penguin. Okay? So from here, heel to heel. Remember, this is not a stance. Remember that. I can't get students to forget that. This is not a stance. This is transitionary. I'm only here for a split second. I am just using this to pivot on my center line. That's all I'm doing. So if I'm here, this is on the shoulder, by the way. Okay, let's go back and look at that. As I come down, elbow stays in tight, but as I step back and lead the uke to my same side shoulder, which brings them to me and gets that kazushi, this now goes to the opposite shoulder. You kind of rest there. Okay? So I'm here, I drop my weight, I'm in that Charlie Chaplin step. This begins to pull the uke into me, so our hips connect. This goes to the shoulder. And from here, what I'm doing, watch my footwork. From this pivot, I lead them, and as I pivot to face 180, this helps turn the uke around. So this motion here helps turn the shoulders. I square my hips. When I square my hips, I should be just on the calf to calf. My feet, it's hard to see from this angle, but my base foot, the foot that stepped first, is slightly ahead of the sweeping leg. Okay? So I'll stop here for a minute to talk about that. Very, very important. Perhaps, if I had top 3 mistakes on the leg sweep, this is, I don't know if it's number 1 or number 2, but it's definitely there, up there, is that people try to sweep, and the base leg, the one that you're supposed to be balanced on, is behind the sweeping leg. So imagine, if you will, I'm a tripod. Tripods typically, well, all the time, a tripod, need 3 legs to stand on. The camera right now that's filming is on a tripod. If I were to take one leg away, the camera would topple. Okay? So, same thing here. If I am trying to sweep and I'm lifting, there's no stability this way. Okay? Now you're going to say I only have 2 legs. Where's my 3rd leg? The idea, though, is if my foot is forward, this, in essence, is 2 legs. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. It does to me. Because I have the benefit of putting my center line over that knee, and everything is balanced here. Okay? As I'm sweeping, everything is balanced. So it's kind of a virtual tripod, so just go with me on this. Okay? So I'm here, elbows in. I start to drop further. Look how low I get. I'm really low to the ground. I'm turning the shoulders. I'm finding the calf. And as I sweep, what I'm doing is this pushes, this pulls, and this sweeps all at the same time. Those three things have to happen together to be a successful leg sweep. So I'm here, slowly this goes to my thigh, like a kickstand to help support. I'm still grabbing the uke's wrist. As I'm sweeping, I'm pulling up and using the uke as an anchor. So as I come down, this sweeps straight up. This goes on my thigh, just like that. Okay? Toes down, heel up, and I'm making a letter T. And I'm pushing into my thigh and pulling in on the uke. A little harder to do on real soft mats with no uke there, but if you can do this on your own and stay there, then once you add the person, it's even easier. So this, I think, perhaps out of all the techniques, especially thus far, if you can do this on your own, you will be formidable when you actually add a person. It's actually even easier when you have something to resist, a little bit of weight there. It's easier, believe it or not. Okay? So let's watch from this perspective. Again, being gripped on my right with the uke's left. Drop the weight, elbows in tight. As I step, this comes down. So the wrist comes down to my hip. This starts to break the attacker down. Okay? So I'm here. This hand's on the shoulder. Imagine uke being right here. I'm pushing the shoulder as in conjunction with my hip and my pivot. As I do that, this leg reaches out to find the calf. Now I'm here. So this is kind of a frozen or freeze frame. Shoulders, hand to lower part of my body, if not the hip, and I'm calf to calf, up on my toes, I'm not flat-footed. From here, the sweep goes straight up and down. As I sweep, this goes into my thigh, here, and I lift up. You can practice it that slow. And stay here. Let's see how long you can stay. Find your grip. This is kind of like a yoga stance, right? Grip into the ground, into the earth. And down. I should be 180. Okay? So let's look at that footwork again. I'll do it from here. I'll do it from this position. I'm being gripped on my left with the right, with the uke, but I'm not going to worry about up here right now. So watch. Drop. Look at my heels. They're, if not touching, a couple inches apart. Okay, so I'm here. I'm starting to turn, 180. Nice hip turn. The uke should be literally on me. When I turn, I'm finding the calf. This is on the shoulder. This is here. And again, straight down. Okay? When you're sweeping, think about bringing your chest down as quickly as you bring that leg up. It should be together. Another major mistake on this, probably the third of the top three, is when I sweep, you're trying to keep your chest up. Well, how can I lift my leg if my chest is still up? Unless you're super, super flexible, okay? So I have to bring my chest down as quickly and as dynamically as my heel comes up. Okay? If I don't do that, I will not have a good leg sweep. Now, could you muscle one, especially if you're bigger than the other person? Could you go across the knee and hurt somebody on purpose, of course, and help you affect the throat through pain? Yeah, you can. But that's not the goal here. Remember, this is classical technique. The most efficient way of doing a technique from a known entity, which is our grip. The leg sweep is a difficult technique. It doesn't have to be, though, if you stop for a minute. Of course, practice like this. This is a great opportunity to do this, to get your bad techniques better. Work on it at home. On a hard surface, this should be no problem. Right? I'm on 2-inch thick, very soft mats here, so and if you can do them on these mats, you can do them anywhere. Especially with shoes on, no brainer. Okay? So, osotogari, which is a Japanese term, which we don't use a lot in our classes. Again, like I said, in Nihon Goshin, we use American terms, or English terms rather. But it's important to know some of these key techniques and what they're called in Japanese. Okay? So, osotogari, leg sweep, classical leg sweep from the first set of Nihon Goshin.